Yee, welcome to Barstool Benchmark, presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer. We are live in Michigan right now, all on a casting couch. Low vibes weekend, but a high vibes weekend.
Made the best of it.
Yeah, we made the best of it.
All of our friends lost. I almost lost a bag. I think the theme of it is lost. Lost a show. Lost on marbles.
Well, we lost a lot of things pretty much. It was a tough weekend, you know? What are you going to do?
This was supposed to
I forgot
recap
the camera's reversed, so this is backwards now. This was working.
our live show in Ann Arbor, Michigan, Michigan State. It got postponed at 1 in the morning, the day of the game. We'll recap on what went through our minds when all of that happened. And, of course, it was a loaded weekend in college basketball. Duke loses, Alabama loses, Syracuse loses, Vermont doesn't play. Also postponed. Florida loses. We had a good time. We're going to keep the vibes positive. And, conference play is in full swing. 2022 is here. 9 weeks from Selection Sunday. Long ways away, but something to keep in the back of your mind.
But we do have one of the hottest team in the country's coach on the episode today, Will Wade from LSU. So make sure you listen to that. And, Jake, let's get into it.
And here we go.
All right, before we get into the episode, I am here to talk to you about High Noon Hard Seltzer. This was the one positive of our entire trip, is that we got to drink High Noon Hard Seltzer at Rick's for at least 2 hours. It was a fantastic time. Shout out Nick for the card. And, High Noon Hard Seltzer is real vodka, real juice, presented by real people. I only had the black cherry this weekend.
Oh, you jumped on
Yep,
ship.
I jumped on ship. It was fantastic. A lot of the people were going with mango. I like mango.
It's not black cherry.
No,
But it's good. That's
you
the
know
thing.
what?
It
That's
gives
a
you
fact.
options.
No,
Gives you options.
That's a good fact. It's not mango. Mango's not black cherry.
I even
Gives you
enjoyed a
options.
high noon myself.
Yeah, Jake was
I
even
know.
letting loose a little bit, having a high noon with the people. High Noon's the best sponsor there is. They were going to present our live show that got canceled, but still, we enjoyed some High Noons. It's real vodka, it's real juice. They only sell it at the liquor store, so make sure you go get yours now. And again, so it's your setups every Tuesdays and Saturdays, and when college basketball runs the world. All right, recap of the weekend. Right when we landed, Rico lost his bag.
Misplaced.
No,
as it turns
lost.
out.
We took a bus from the airport to the rental car place, and the moron just left his bag on the bus. How do you leave the one thing in the bus? Is 5-minute ride.
Because I'm not used to putting it on the fucking thing. It threw me off.
Where do you usually put it?
I like to keep it in front of me. But there was too many people. We're trying to get fucking shit downloaded, figure out where we're going, apps.
What were we trying to get down? You can't just say words. You just said words.
Marty
I needed
Clips?
the Michigan
Yeah, Marty
Athletics
Clips.
app.
You just like, we're trying to download things. What are we trying to download?
The Michigan Athletics app.
But yeah, and when we got there, fucking Mancini puts us in a small car. We have a husky group. Aria, you, I'm 6'3", and Dukes is a husky small man. Jake is just, I don't know what you are.
6-footer
Yeah,
on the dot.
you're 6 foot.
He's close. I don't know.
How tall are you? You are out of it.
Listed at 6 feet.
Rico, like, he asks me a question, he has to think about it for 4 seconds
Yeah.
before he speaks.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to piss off. No matter what I say, it's going to be wrong the way the fucking weekend's going.
That's true. Yeah, so we got here on Friday. It was all good. We enjoyed ourselves some Zingerman's Deli twice because it was that good. I got turkey Reuben. Marty got barbecue chicken. Rico.
I got turkey and then I got barbecue chicken.
Yeah, fantastic food. I don't know
He
why he
didn't
looks like
think
he
it
wants
was
to
that
kill
good.
someone
He didn't think
right
it was
now.
that good.
15 to 25 minutes for a sandwich. It's not.
It did not take
That
15
ain't
to
gonna fly.
25.
You
Staten
were upset
Island.
about that.
That's not going to fly on Staten Island.
All
I'll tell you that for a fact.
So yeah, we enjoyed Zingerman's, and then we settled in the hotel. The guys went out for a little bit, and then I got a call from Marty, 1 in the morning. He says,
Yeah. Well, we got a lot more to get before it gets canceled because the car was very small, but our rooms were fucking ginormous.
Rooms are fantastic.
Rooms are great. Yeah, it was Zingerman's, and it was, first of all, it's also anyone that lives here, you're a moron. The cold goes straight
He's
through
saying
you.
the state of
Straight through
Michigan,
you.
right?
Yeah, Michigan. What do you mean?
I thought you meant Ann Arbor or state. What? I don't know if you're specifically talking about the city of Ann Arbor or
All
the
of
state of
Midwest.
Michigan. Yeah.
Michigan? What do you mean? We're in Michigan.
I know, but if you're talking about Manhattan or New York City, there's a big difference.
Yeah, we're in Michigan. I said, if anyone lives here, you're a moron.
Right. It was unclear. I don't know if you said the city or the state.
Goodness gracious, Jake. I think I fought with Jake the most this trip, at least. I think I'm addicted to fighting with you.
Yeah, because you always think you're right. But I'm
right.
fighting back.
I'm right. I mean, let's talk about we didn't bring the car to the Michigan big house.
If you have ever driven on a college campus, you know that the parking police are always out to get you. It was a risk.
And
We don't want to deal with the headache.
Yeah, Jake
of a
goes,
parking
it was a risk.
ticket.
Jake's risk is my taking a shit. It's like a risk. You take. How long did we sit outside in the cold?
15 minutes?
15 minutes, and we almost died. I had to run sprints.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, that
And
guy.
you know what Rico does? Doesn't butt in ever. He never puts his opinion out there anymore when we fight. You remember? We realize that?
What do you mean?
He never says anything when we fight.
Switzerland.
But yeah, we were out.
That guy who gave us the tour was the nicest guy in the world, and then he fucking hightailed it out of there.
Yeah,
He's like, "Hey, you assholes, you want to freeze in fucking
Yeah, we
on the side of the road?
Hey, you want to drive us somewhere?
No problem."
Shout out to Cam,
Nice
who
guy.
gave us a tour of the big house. We'll have a vlog of that coming soon on the Barstool Bench Mob YouTube page, so stay tuned for that. Better than nothing. Obviously, the basketball game got canceled, but
yeah, we were out Friday night, just being with the people, hanging out with some stoolies at Scorekeepers and Rick's, just hanging out, and it was like 1 o'clock. We're about to go get some pizza, and then we got a call from Dickinson. Game's canceled. We were the first ones to probably find out, and everyone's giving Titus and Tate all these fucking like kudos that they tweeted it first and all this shit. I was like,
It is quick.
I don't like being the COVID. I don't want to break COVID.
It is crazy how quick it spreads, though.
Oh yeah.
no pun intended.
I still kind of have a problem with that too. When they say like who, I don't know, whatever.
No.
Why
you
are they
have a
saying
problem with
who? Like, if you, I don't know, if you have a fucking STD, it's not transmitted on the internet. If a kid's gonna miss a game because he got an STD, they'll just put medical, like protect it, right? Why are we saying like who has what or?
I mean, it doesn't really
Gets
matter.
into,
with
I
COVID,
get it,
but
whatever.
like, I just don't understand why we gotta like break news that it's canceled. Like, let Michigan just tweet out games
Right.
postponed.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not. We could have done it at 1 a.m., but I don't know. I feel like that's weird, especially when like it's our friend, like who's
Right.
telling us about it. I don't know.
We made the most of it. So Saturday went back to Zingerman's, and then we had our tour of the big house, and then we went to Rick's. We still had a meet and greet, a little bit more informal. No basketball talk, but thanks to all the Michigan stoolies who came out to that. That was a good time.
And some Michigan State.
And Michigan
They
State.
were represented.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will have one more live show this season to be announced, but it'll be in February, and stay tuned for that. Then we made a little audible to Detroit. Back to Detroit. What?
Haven't gotten a thank you from somebody.
I said thank you.
I know.
You fucking kidding me?
I know, Jake. You said thank you right after.
Thanks, Marty.
What?
You just texted
Marty
me,
hooked
like,
up the tickets.
Yeah, as fucking.
What? I texted my friend.
We both got texted at the same time. Just different
Rico
areas.
relationships.
And who? Mine's a player.
Marty, did you thank Rico for the post-game pass?
I didn't need a post-game pass. I was texting him.
They were stingy down there. They were letting kids airball free throws.
They were. That was. They
A lot of
let,
airballs.
they let a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
You know, it is kind of funny though. Like they're like, "Hey, make sure you wear a mask, but don't worry, we're gonna use the same ball, and everyone shoot the ball at half court."
That was a nice arena. I'll say that.
It's a very nice arena. We even pounded some Little Caesars.
Yes.
That's where I called my last ever Syracuse college game.
Who'd they play there?
March Madness over Michigan State, second round, upset. Student Radio 2018.
They have the tournament there.
They did in 2018.
That's not a bad place to have a tournament.
Very
It's
nice.
a great place.
If
The only
Michigan or
problem
Michigan
is
State are a 2 seed, they're there.
they're playing. They have no hotels around there. Bad hotels. No room
Except
service.
Greektown.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Greektown's the best.
Greektown's
Is the
amazing.
best part
Yeah.
there, but they got like the Western.
Rico's wearing the shirt.
Are you okay?
I'm trying
He
to.
keeps like, he just keeps like the podcast just stops. It's like,
Okay.
what are you doing, dude?
I'm trying to figure out, is it bad room service now or is it bad room service like forever?
All time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jesus
Greektown's
Christ.
the only place to stay in
I'm
Detroit, no?
processing it before I fucking just lash out on room service.
No, Greektown's the best. Detroit was fun. Luka Garza didn't get in the game, but I was just staring at the bench. He's just like brings great vibes.
Yeah. Asswipe texted me directly after the game. The text was literally, appreciate you coming through, my boy. Sorry about that Duke L crying faces. Right after the game. I'm like,
And that's
thanks.
a perfect segue to get into the game. So again, a loaded college basketball Saturday. The biggest upset in the sport this weekend. Miami, Florida, 76. Number 2 Duke, 74. Down goes Coach K.
I think we should just skip it. I don't think there's a reason to talk about it. I mean, hey, all right. Unbiased Martin coming through again. 17 turnovers, 5 turnovers. Who's going to win the game?
Fair.
Exactly. That's it. And you know what? In my eyes, 17 turnovers to 5, lose by 1. And what was the free throw situation? Was
free
that Danny
throws-
Boy Kane saying that he was like 6 for 21, they said?
6 for 21, 3 points.
Oh, he said threes. Okay.
For Duke. Free throws were 11 for Miami, 17 for Duke.
That's a problem for Duke this whole entire time anyway. Is a three? It's Joey Baker doesn't fucking really shoot him. Paolo has kind of been shaky on him, but I mean, look, Miami's an older team. Charlie Moore is legitimately 42. Still funny when I said that to Danny Boy Kane.
Is that on Twitter? Did we tweet out?
Yeah,
the
it's
Twitter
out there.
Spaces? Yeah.
He took
Yeah.
it serious. He's like,
I was like,
no,
yeah,
he's about 22.
Charlie Moore's 42, right? He goes, no, he's 22. All right. Thanks, Danny. He's the best. But, no, I mean, it's not the end of the world for Duke. It's a little concerning, to be honest, because Miami's probably second, third best team in the ACC, which is a very down ACC. It was a bad loss at home. But Miami, if you watch college basketball, Duke loses Miami every year.
So I have this
Mostly
stat.
at Miami.
Usually-
Hold on.
usually, yeah.
Are we now? Duke's played. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I'm doing it off the top of my head. 4 good teams.
Duke's played Kentucky, Gonzaga, Ohio State, Miami.
Anybody else slip in as a good team?
In terms of
On
who
that
they've
li-
played or who they're
Yeah,
going
who
to
they've
play.
played? Yeah, who they've played
Virginia
so far.
Tech is maybe a tournament team.
They struggled with them. My point
They
is,
didn't show with them.
they're 2-2.
Against those 4? Okay.
Yeah. What about it?
Just saying. We start worrying a little bit.
You're fucking crazy,
They're
bro.
still top tier.
They're
You
also
You
playing.
got other teams that you fucking like, and you're still not worried about them, but you're worried about Duke because they lost to Ohio State, who was the hottest team at the time, and Miami.
2-2 against good teams.
And
Aren't
Kentucky
gonna
and
get-
Gonzaga are not good teams.
Aren't going to get a lot of tests in this ACC conference. I just, like I said.
Which, again, you don't know exactly yet.
Also, they had a timeout, and Krzyzewski doesn't call it, and
That
take a
was
shitbag pull-up 3. The same. Didn't they lose similarly to Ohio State with a bad possession late?
I'm
Ohio
more.
State, they scored 9 points in the last 10 minutes. So
Right, but I think it was still around and had a bad possession late as well. I'm starting to get concerned of his in-game management as well.
I can't stand him.
You
It's
thought
nothing
that
to
was a
do
good
with-
shot.
No, it wasn't a good shot, and I do not like that Wendell Moore took it. I don't like that. Wendell Moore was also kind of struggling. He was 5 of 12. He was 0 for 4 from
7
3.
seconds. Like, call
The
a timeout.
thing is, it's almost give me flashbacks of like Zion. It's like, give the ball to the number 1 pick. Give the ball to Paolo. He had 20. He was the only one that was
What did he
shooting
take,
well.
11 field goals, 10 field
10.
goals.
It was 10,
6
10
for 10 from the floor.
6 for 10, 20 points is fucking unbelievable. Give him the ball. It's so stupid. And Trevor Keels struggled very badly.
Right.
But A.J. Griffin played well
He's
off the
coming
bench.
along. It seems like he's coming along. So
Marty.
Completely honest, I'm gonna need Joey Baker to do something because they have no bench right now.
I told
A.J.
you, he
Griffin's
has
the
to be, put him in the corner for a 3-minute spurt, and he takes 4 threes.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Marty,
Figure it out. Make
you've
him a
been
microwave.
Hot on Villanova for having a 6-man rotation. Duke got pretty much a 6-man rotation.
It was
yesterday.
a weird. No, yesterday they did, but they don't because Theo John usually plays way more than that. He usually plays at least 15 minutes, and Joey Baker at least plays 10. But I know you're right. That's a weird. I don't know what the fuck happened, but especially Trevor Keels, how much he sucked. How didn't you put him out? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Marty.
I'm not worried, to be honest.
In the sense that I don't think it does much for Duke. Rico is on the outside of that one. But obviously,
no, listen, I still say they're an elite team, but 2 biggest wins of the season are going to probably become before. Did they beat Gonzaga before Thanksgiving?
Black Friday.
Black Friday. Okay, so definitely before Christmas, basically around Thanksgiving. Their 2 biggest wins are going to be in the first month of the season.
Yeah, I mean, they have maybe at UNC, which is Saturday, February 5th. But besides that, like,
it's a down year in the ACC.
They don't have Miami again.
They don't have
can't get
Miami
revenge.
again. I mean, I just worry if you're kind of cruising through this conference, who's a down conference. I think Sweet 16. Like they're obviously going to get to the second weekend. I think the second weekend could be a problem for them. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going out in the first weekend. That's outlandish.
I'm trying to keep calm. I'm trying to keep calm.
Crazy. They almost lost with Zion to Virginia Tech in the Sweet 16.
Almost.
And that was a better team than this, I think. They're the number 1 overall team.
I mean, listen, I've been downplaying them. If they get Texas Tech, a team who can disrupt you defensively, and I've been wrong on Texas Tech yesterday and a little bit, but
you've been wrong on Texas Tech the whole year.
Yeah, that style of play, you don't think that could fuck them up?
I'm not saying they're untouchable. Obviously, like this is a sign. It's weirdly when Duke isn't playing that well and they're still in these games, is what I'm saying, which shows me that they're a good team. If that makes any sense.
I mean, Duke in the spot of this ACC, it's tough because any loss is going to almost be considered a tough loss.
On the flip side,
I don't know why though.
On the flip side, though, they're a
good team.
15-point favorite and they're still in the game, which is
no, it's bad. Yeah,
you look at it the flip side.
But I don't know why Miami's getting so disrespected. They've had
Miami doesn't
wins.
deserve to be disrespected at this point.
I think Miami could be the second best team in the ACC.
Yeah.
I mean, also, ACC is going to definitely have more teams than WCC now, guaranteed. With Miami, that's a fact.
Definitely helps your case.
There's 3 definites.
I would say Miami's a lock.
Oh, yeah. They're a lock now.
First, second week of January.
Exactly.
Duke,
but they're
Miami,
a lock now.
North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling
it's
you,
not good to only have 3 locks, but it is.
No, it's not. But that was
it
was
early.
tough before.
That's fair.
Jim Larinaga, 7-7 against Duke since he was hired by Miami in 2011.
He's got a job for life.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah,
7 wins against Duke in 10 years.
That's why old bag's still there.
Yeah, this is probably the first one on the road. I feel like maybe one more.
Probably 1 or 2.
I would imagine 7 wins.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta double check.
I'd say he
Duke
has.
Is, by the way,
2.
we're happy about 7-7. That's how good they are.
I mean, yeah, Duke is very good.
But watching that on a phone with Terrence Ross, who just like says, "Oh, you sports fans," was so upsetting.
Yeah. So
that 3 was so bad.
Shout out Terrence Ross. Let's go to the Big East a little bit. This was the early game. We watched that Rico versus Marty head-to-head on this one. Number 24, Seton Hall 90, UConn 87 in overtime. Rico, am I correct that you only took UConn because Danny Hurley followed you back on Twitter?
Yes, that is a fact.
It worked, +4.
I also just kind of think that those Big East games are going to be a war. So you're going to give me 4.5. UConn had chances to win the game. Talk about bad. Listen, I don't bash my friends on this podcast, but talk about tough possessions late. UConn definitely had some tough possessions late in terms of like shots. Turnovers, shot clock, not great shots late in the game. I also want to say I would have given Marty the cover if it meant it would have changed my day.
Yeah.
Because I won UConn.
Your lone win, pretty much?
Yeah, lone win. Yeah. And lost the rest.
Yeah. I mean,
horrific day.
And I feel like you ride or die with Alabama. We'll get to a little bit later, but I feel like if Alabama wins, it can't be an awful day for you, right?
No. I mean, Colorado. My friends at Colorado State lost.
No, yeah,
I'm
they
still.
didn't lose.
I grew up a Duke fan. Still a Duke fan. Duke lost.
The Seton Hall. What was impressive was Richmond because he off the bench he fucking dropped 27. Was unbelievable. I think that's what I'm saying. I think Seton Hall is very deep, but Kale sucked, and they still won, which is like, and he's usually always getting going. So I think Seton Hall still is. I still think they're one of the best teams.
You know
in
who
the
Kale
Beast.
reminds me of? Kispert late. The way he's supposed to be an integral part, and he's not contributing right now. Kisper was ice.
Timmy and Suggs took
Kisper
over
was
last
ice
year.
cold in the tournament.
Yeah, he was.
Ice cold. The worst time for it to happen. Ice cold.
Yeah.
So if Kale, I mean,
He was.
Seton Hall's doing enough to pick it up around Kale, but long term, Kale's got to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, Kadari Richmond, 27 points, transferred from Syracuse, and they're getting healthy. Seton Hall's dealt with the COVID
Yeah, I mean,
probably as
Kevin-
much as any other team in the country.
I think Kevin Willard's going to be changing his blue for red pretty soon. But
What
They
kind
ha-
of red?
what?
What kind of red?
Crab cake red. Let's put it that way.
You think he's going to Maryland?
I think they're idiots if they don't hire him. But that's a whole other conversation. But either way, he's your coach right now. He's not going anywhere this season. I mean, yeah, that's an X factor. He's a great coach.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that worries me about Seton Hall, and this is totally nitpicking, is you need some guy to have, a career high off the bench to pull off the win. But this is a big win at home. UConn's a tournament team, too, most likely.
What does that mean, though?
It means if a reserve doesn't have the game of his life, you probably lose.
Well, it's hard. I mean, that's if Sonogo doesn't have 18 points, they lose. Like that's you could kind of say about anybody.
27 off the bench is different from 18 as a starter.
No, I know, but it's also like I don't know. I don't think you could say if their guy doesn't score 27, they lose.
He had to play a near perfect game for them to win.
Do you understand? Like you can't just say. I feel like you can't just
It's
be like.
definitely. I think the point is more.
That's like a Johnny Davis
It's more
thing.
of an out of the
No,
ordinary.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's more of an out of the ordinary stat that
Yeah,
a
but
bench
it's
guy
one
went for
One
27.
guy got hot.
Right.
You just let
Well,
him.
I still agree. UConn should have won the game. So I kind of get his point that like because Kadari Richmond ran off was the only reason they.
I just don't think you could say. You can't just say the guy who did well.
Saying the other guys in the starting lineup.
I'm not.
We do a
I'm not
better
being a
job.
dick. I'm just saying. I think
Yeah.
that's like saying if Charlie Moore was someone. I don't know. I just don't think you could just nitpick the one person because I mean even Bryce Aiken had 22. Like he did his job. I don't know. That's just a team. That's just your team.
Makes sense.
Whatever. Yeah, agree to disagree. But yeah, Seton Hall, I think they could be. I don't know. The top of the Big East is a crapshoot. It seems like. I'm still taking Villanova number one, but Providence bounced back against St. John's. Seton Hall's here. UConn's not going anywhere.
Xavier's an impressive
Xavier,
Big East is good.
it's tough.
Very
It's
good.
really tight up top. So that was a good game in Newark. To the Big 12, number 25 Texas Tech 75, number 6 Kansas 67. No Terrence Shannon, no Kevin McCullough, and the Red Raiders still got the job done.
I think I've said this.
Wire to wire, Texas.
Texas Tech is a good team, and then they're going to get a lot of shit because of how disgusting they've had their Tennessee game. And who was the other game?
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
They lost to Providence too.
No, I'm just saying like they're really shitty games where it was like 30 points of the entire game.
Iowa State
Like
and Tennessee.
those were the.
That's why I thought Kansas could fuck them up because they were going to play this slow style. Kansas get out and run.
No, yeah.
On the broadcast, Fraschilla said Texas Tech said they needed 71. The coach said, I need 70 points to win this game. And sure as shit, they fucking won the game 75-67. Like,
Yeah.
it makes sense. I mean, it's crazy how they game plan and can make those adjustments. They also shot 5% from three and 68% from the line and won by 8.
Yep.
I mean, this could have been fucking 20.
No, I know.
15.
Yeah.
Shit.
They're one of those teams where they lose the face of their team last year, and you're like, all right, it might be tough this year, Mac McClung. But they're right there, too. Like,
Oh, they got great transfers. They're. I mean, I think you said it. Kevin O'Banner has the best publicity as a person because he stinks. He has not been good at all.
He's
and
got the world fleeced.
But what's his name? This guy, I forget. Yeah, Santos Silva.
Marco Santos Silva.
He
been
only had
around. He's been
7.
around
Yeah, he's been
forever.
around. He only had 7 points, but he had like a wild presence. I feel like he was just like all over the place and playing defense. But yeah, Williams was good. Texas Tech without McCollum and Shannon is crazy to beat Kansas. I think it's crazy.
Home court. I feel like home teams, aside from Duke yesterday, like, I don't know. It just
No, I think
Michigan was
actually,
favored in the game we were supposed to do.
do
Everyone we
think-
talked to was shocked.
Yeah, they were like Michigan State.
I do
Michigan
think
State.
yesterday was a big road team winning. I understand what you're saying, but like I do think yesterday was a big road team winning.
I don't feel like that. I feel like Duke's the only home team.
Every
in
home
no,
game.
no, I'm literally. I think there was like a stat that came out.
home court in college basketball goes a much longer way than any sport. For some reason, maybe it's the students on top of you. But yeah, students are coming back on campus. That definitely plays a factor. But Texas Tech, as Rico said, they just were in control the majority of the game against Kansas. Kansas, I'm not worried about either. It's only their second loss. Remember, their first loss was to Dayton, that crazy bounce. So aside from that, look, you're going to lose games on the road in conference. It's going to happen. Texas Tech is probably a tournament team. I had a lot of Texas Tech people adding me that Mark Adams should be in the Coach of the Year conversation. I didn't have him at first. 11-3 first season. They were started 6-0, but it was all bye games.
When do they play
They beat
Beard?
Tennessee and Kansas. Beard, they
That's
play
a must
February
watch.
1st. But on Tuesday, they're at Baylor. If they win that game, okay, he's in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be a good game. I think Baylor, Texas Tech. Texas Tech has a weird way to play.
Yeah, I think they're. I don't want to say a better version, but like a more a faster version of Virginia a couple years ago. Does that make sense? They do play defense. It's ugly.
Yeah,
you don't want to play
59
them.
offense, number 5 defense.
You don't want to play them in the tournament.
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen it where they hit a standstill for 12 minutes. They're not scoring.
just
Or he's
smash
banged
my
his
elbow. You hear that?
Yeah.
Your elbow.
Don't get me wrong. They were down guys to Iowa State, but like they didn't score for 12 minutes.
No, I know. No, you're
Virginia
kinda
has
right.
done that, you know. So them and I know they played a fast-paced game yesterday, but Tennessee gives me that vibe too.
So let's
They
dive
could
into
just
that
fucking
game
dive in
lightly.
your shorts, play defense, make it ugly. Tennessee and Texas Tech, two teams I do not want to see in the second weekend.
So Tennessee,
I actually don't agree with the Tennessee.
number 21 LSU 79, number 18 Tennessee 67.
Style of play only. I don't think they're very good. Style of play in the tournament matters. I think it can fuck you up.
And we're going to hear
Big
from
time.
Will Wade shortly, so we can dive into a lot of his team and that, so we don't have to go too heavy here. But LSU, too, one loss. I tweeted this. It feels like they're not getting any attention. 14-1.
No, they're not.
No one's talking about LSU. They had one bad night at Auburn 2 weeks ago. They got smoked.
Shout out Westy. Westy said on the broadcast that they're the most underrated team in the country.
You said Westy?
That the broadcaster said it.
Oh, okay. I was like, is he doing a cameo on the
Damn,
broadcast?
good for Westy.
Good for Westy.
All right, so number 21, LSU 79, number 18, 67. I feel like people aren't talking about LSU. They have one loss. We'll hear from Will Wade shortly. I don't know. They had one off night at Auburn.
Which is like Auburn.
That's
right.
fine.
It's on the road.
Yeah.
So we'll dive into their team in a little bit. But let's talk Tennessee.
They also that you can. I don't want to call it a fluke, but they couldn't throw the ball. Wasn't that the game they opened down 17-1?
Yeah.
Okay, so couldn't throw the ball in the ocean. It's just one of those nights. Don't get me wrong. Auburn's better than them. You could make that case, but that was a night where they just couldn't fucking score.
Right.
So
it was like
we
18-1.
all talk about that. Like, Kansas lost to fucking Dayton. It's a weird. Everyone's gonna get a weird loss, you know, or just have a horrific.
Just
night.
a bad night.
Play
Yeah.
night. Yeah, it's a bad night.
All right, so back to the Ole Miss game earlier this week. Tennessee beat Ole Miss in overtime, but Rick Barnes hinted at the energy and the effort for John Fulkerson. Here, he said, we need him to play tougher and harder, and he needs to help this team, or he needs to step aside.
Oh man,
That hurts us. You hate to hear that, you know, from such a guy who, stand-up guy, would definitely come on a podcast for free.
yeah, not $300. Let's actually. Hey pal,
Who are you texting?
his manager.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's an email. How much to come on the pod now?
Yeah, the full quote from
Love
Rick
the
Barnes.
effort.
We need John to help us. If not, he needs to step aside.
Love the effort I'm seeing on the court.
Are you actually sending this?
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god.
He sent it. He sent it.
Well,
Oh, is it back already?
all right. So Rico may have just.
I don't think he's.
burned
I
a
think
bridge
this.
with Tennessee.
I think this manager is such a fucking squid. He won't even get the dig. I said, love the effort I'm seeing on the court.
I
Oh,
think
no,
he's
yeah.
gonna know.
No, I think he'll be like, you're right. Maybe want him to come on 400.
I also wonder if I'm directly emailing the kid and he's faking a manager. I think we're in a weird, like fucking
So funny
fire
you just
fest
said
type thing.
that. I mean, that's tough though. No joke. Like Tennessee's in trouble. Their best player, their coach taking shots at their best player or in
I
January.
always found that interesting when they make those statements.
Like so you could literally say that,
He's a senior.
but you could say that in the locker room. I'm kind of both. I'm a weird stance with coaches doing that. Like sometimes calling them out publicly gets them going more.
Yes.
But also
the type of kid.
It all depends on the kid.
So like,
yeah.
listen, I'm gonna we knock this kid because it's entertainment, but maybe he is like he does have that fire of like fuck
Yeah.
you thing, you know?
It depends because sometimes like when Aaron Boone comes out and it's just like that's a bad law. It's like team will get it together. It's almost like I want him to throw everyone under the bus and just like get everyone fired up. But it all depends on how your team reacts.
All time story of like somebody who did have that fuck you energy in him. Russ Smith or Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino in a meeting told him, "I think you should transfer, and don't worry, we'll find a place where you don't have to play defense." In the meeting, and Russ Smith went out and the next year became a fucking animal and they won the national title. Quick, actually, fact check. That story that I said was Edgar Sosa back in like 2009, not Russ Smith. So back to your scheduled program. So, but he's a fucking kid from Queens, like played in a tough league. Like he's going to be like, oh, you want me to transfer? I won't play defense? Fuck you. Now, I don't know enough about Fulkerson. On the court, he kind of just looks like a nice guy, but maybe behind the scenes, you're right. Barnes does that. I think you coach every kid differently. I know that sounds crazy, but like certain guys you could do it to, certain guys you can't. So like with Phil Jackson, like it is what it is. But if this is what Rick Barnes, what he thinks is going to work for Fulkerson, then God bless him. Because I do still think they're a tough out, but things aren't great right now.
I believe he called him out last year too, and he responded.
Okay. But that also is contradictory because how many times do I have to keep fucking motivating you?
Yeah.
What is this? Just like a yearly thing? You know? Like you either get to a breaking point, like Russ Smith got to a breaking point, and it's like, all right, we're either going to go our separate ways or fix this, have a full-blown intervention, but like we got to call out Fulkerson every year? What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have to keep getting called out. It's
Right,
like,
yeah.
just play
You know,
fucking
like
basketball.
I'm not as keen on that, so we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's definitely a unique coaching tactic. We don't see it from a lot of guys. A little bit of a unique note too, Rico. You mentioned Russ Smith. Louisville announced they're retiring his jersey.
I did see that.
weeks.
Yeah, I did see that. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to our interview with LSU head coach Will Wade. The Tigers are hot. We're gonna talk to him about plenty of things. His team's hot start. The SEC. Rico's pick to win it all is still at what, plus 500 in the Barstool Sportsbook?
I'd have to take a look right now. We'll get that live for you. Actually, it's a good segue.
Yeah. Also, his freak out against Kentucky last week. We'll see how he responds to that. So let's get to it. The head coach of the LSU Tigers, Will Wade.
All right, we want to welcome on a very special recurring guest on for the second straight season. It is the head coach of the number 21 LSU Tigers, Will Wade. Coach, by the time this interview is airing, you guys will be much higher than 21, we would assume, because you had a big week, beating Kentucky at home, beating Tennessee at home, 14-1 right now, and we'll get into all of that. But I want to lead it off with this. Halftime, a couple of weeks ago, Brian Kelly's speech to the crowd. What do you make of all of that? When did you first hear of it? Because these are the clips everyone really wants to hear.
Well, I'm not on social media, so I get things like by a courier pigeon, like 2 days later, But my staff, they were playing it for me afterwards. I mean, look, I didn't see the big deal in the whole thing. I think, people trying to make something more out of it than it, than it was. But I mean, I tell people all the time, they spell love one way down in Louisiana, W-I-N. All right. And so
That's pretty good.
That's the truth. I mean, it's all about winning. And so, and he's going to win. He's going to win. You know, he's going to have every resource available to win. And they don't care. They don't care about anything but winning. I mean, I'm not from here. I love it here. I wasn't fortunate enough to be born here, but this is home now and I love it. But, you know, they want to win. And if they're keeping score and the Tigers are playing, people care, and particularly in football. And he's going to win. But I thought way too much was made out of all that. And he'll be off and rolling here soon.
I just got to get this off my chest because I saw you screaming your head off like a lunatic against Kentucky. I'm going to be honest. I might have said, fuck Will Wade when your players decided to score like 5 points against Kentucky in the last 2 seconds. And I had +3.5. Just saying. I know you have nothing to do with it, but I just had to get that off my chest because I was screaming my head off just like you.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed we couldn't get the old loose ball, but I know your disappointment was a little different reason.
We complimented you last year on your offense, and your direct quote was, "Yeah, we don't talk much on defense. Our defense is awful." Fast forward to this year, number 1 in the country, top 10 in a variety of categories, steals, effective field goal, like everything. What was the process in becoming the best defense? Did you just focus on, hey, let's just stop the ball at all times and the rest will fill in? Was it like, hey, let's get to drills? Like, what turned it around? Because now it's night and day defensively here.
Pretty much me just staying out of the way was pretty much what got it done for us. But I mean, we really are. We run a very similar scheme to what we ran the year before. I mean, I give our players all the credit. We're not doing a whole heck of a lot different than what we did. Now we do it much more aggressively. We've got a freshman, Brandon Murray. He averages 10 a game for us. He's our leader in minutes, and it's because he's so valuable for us on the court. Like when he's out there defensively, him and Imwani Wilkinson, Imwani starts for us at the 3. They make all the calls. They're like our middle linebacker and safety. And so they make all the calls because there's a lot of switching and we have to maneuver a bunch of different things. You got to have 5 people moving as one. And so those guys do such a great job. And we're able to sit down and keep the ball in front, which is huge. So, I mean, our players, we have really good defensive personnel. We're long, we're athletic, we're physical. We can just make a lot of things happen. And so our guys are really the reason we've been so much better defensively.
In terms of gaining momentum and just going on a run, what could a week like you guys just had, beating 2 ranked teams at home, do for the long-term success of the team?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we've got to build off of it. We've only played 1 conference road game. We won 2 at home over 2 very good teams. But if you're gonna compete at the top of the league, you're gonna have to dig some out on the road. And we got a big road game at Florida this week, and so we kind of held serve at home is how I look at it. Now, obviously, beating 2 top 20 teams at home is a huge deal in any week. I think it's the 4th time in our program's history we've done that. The first since like 2000. So it's a big deal certainly. But now we have to build off of it. We got to take this show on the road. We got to be able to have some toughness, some discipline, and all that on the road if we really want to fancy ourselves as somebody that can compete at the top of the conference. But I did think the Tennessee game was about as well as we've played all year. Offensively, we scored the most points anybody scored on Tennessee all year, and they have the number 2 defense in the country. Thought our defense was pretty solid. We had a couple things where we kind of got screwed up and gave them some layups and some dunks that we shouldn't have. And I think we can get that stuff corrected, but I thought for the most part, we played really, really solid. So hopefully that's something we can build off of and just keep getting better.
I know you don't give a shit, but like you're 14-1 and you lost to Auburn, who's like kind of showing that they're a national contender. Like
they could win the whole thing. Auburn, they're that good.
Yeah.
Kessler's such a difference maker for them. Now, Kessler's got to stay out of foul trouble, but when he's out of foul trouble and he's on the court, I mean, they're almost impossible to score on.
Yeah, someone on this podcast did say that at the beginning of the year. Just smart guy here that did say it. But I feel like for some reason, like you're almost like getting like disrespected in the national media, where it's like you're just 14-1, just keep winning, keep beating good teams, and you're not still like talked about crazy amount. Now I think you will be, but does that change how you talk to your guys? Like now is be a little bit like target on your back where you guys are at the top of the SEC?
Not really. We just kept, I mean, look, the one thing about how we do things is we do the same thing every day. I tell them all the time, I'm not superstitious, but I am routine oriented. So, I mean, literally it's like Groundhog Day every day in our program. Today was the off day. You know exactly what's going to happen on the off day with tomorrow's the 2-day out prep after a game. So you know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow. Like they know exactly. I mean, and so we just kind of stick to our routine and stick to what we do. And we don't spend a lot of time. I know it's kind of a coach speak answer, but it is the truth. Like
Oh yeah.
we'll prepare for this game just like we prepare for any other game. And we do the same routine every day. So that way, if you win, you stick to your routine. You lose, you stick to your routine. It just works. And so that's what we do. And it sounds mundane and boring, but
No, it's the thousand.
there's nothing. I mean, I tell people all the time, you don't have to do anything special to win. You just got to be unbelievably consistent with whatever you believe in, whatever you do. And that's kind of what grounds us and what we do. And it helps us in really good times when we're flying high and winning. And it helps us in bad times when you go through losing streaks. You just stick to the routine.
Isn't it crazy that we listened to a groundhog about winter? I heard you say Groundhog's Day. I'm like, what?
Up where you guys are, winter starts a little earlier down here. I'm in shorts and a short sleeve shirt today. It was about 70 degrees here.
Oh, it's fucking freezing here.
I lived up there 2 years. You ain't got to tell me.
Oh my God.
That's bad. When you look at Eason and Days, right? They're technically your quote unquote big guys. They're your forwards, but they both can step out and shoot the three. Days, in particular, has I think over 100 3-point attempts. So they're very versatile. What is that something you look for in the recruits, and how much does that help you create matchup problems where you don't really have numbers? You just have guys who are going to kind of do a little of everything.
Yeah, those two combined for 39 and 20 yesterday. They were phenomenal. They're both a little bit different. Eason's a little bit more off the balance, right, and driving to the rim and can make a three. He was 1 of 3 yesterday from 3. Days is much more of a shooter and kind of floor spacer and do things like that. But yeah, we look for guys that are can play multiple ways, can certainly make shots and can drive the ball. And then offensive rebounding is a huge piece for us. Both of those guys are really, really good offensive rebounders. So we've been very fortunate. Days is a 4-year kid. He's been with us all 4 years and he's been awesome. He's sacrificed a lot to get to this point. Playing behind some of the other guys that we have. I don't know if y'all saw Cam hit the game winner today for the Nets. So that was awesome.
Yep.
It was a little one-footed shot. I've never seen anybody shoot off the opposite foot better than him. But, Days had to sacrifice a lot. And Tari's somebody who transferred to us from Cincinnati, and he's just been money for us since he's been here, man. He's been absolutely awesome and just a hard worker. And his skill set, kind of fits what we've had in the past at that position. And so we've been very fortunate with those two, and they're very difficult for other teams to match up with.
The conference right now is one of, if not the best in the country, right? So how do
best in the country? Best in the country.
Rico's been saying that since day one.
I agree. I do agree. I mean, I'm looking at your schedule right now. It's a fucking gauntlet every night.
So how do you prepare for something like that, where every game is more likely than not against a tournament caliber team?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now we've got at least 7 teams that would be in the NCAA tournament. Probably if it ended today, we'd have 7 in that thing. And so, I mean, it's a bear. Every team, what's happened in the SEC is most of the schools. This is just my theory, but I think I'm right on this. Most of the schools have kind of maxed out on football. There's only so many more suites you can build. There's only so much more stuff you can do with football. So they've all kind of looked and said, all right, where else can we generate some revenue? And where else can we be good? So all of a sudden, all at one time, all these SEC schools have decided they all want to be good in basketball. And they've put a ton of resources into it. And everybody's hired great coaches. I mean, the coaching in the league is ridiculous. And just like in football, I mean, we're in fertile recruiting areas for basketball. I mean, we're in big time recruiting areas, basketball wise, with tremendous tremendous athletes. It's funny. I was talking, I'm not going to say who it was, but I was talking to an official at one of our games recently. And I said, man, I saw you doing X, Y, and Z game last night in another conference. And he was like, oh, that was like stealing money. That conference doesn't have near the athletes we have. He's an SEC primary guy. He's like, that doesn't have near the athletes we have in the SEC. There weren't nearly as many collisions at the rim, nearly as many plays at the rim. This was another high major conference he was doing the game, a really good league too. And he was like, that was such an easy game compared to what we have here. But I think everybody's decided that they want to invest in basketball, that they want to be really good in basketball. And we've got really good players in these areas. And it's made for unbelievable competition in the league. And I think it's only going to continue. To get better.
Why do you think Vanderbilt didn't start trying to build their basketball program 20 years ago? Because they've sucked in football for 20 years. Shouldn't they be ahead of everybody? Shouldn't their basketball arena be like?
You forget now. I mean, they were winning their tail off in basketball up until 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, they were at the top of the league in basketball up until 5 or 6 years ago, and then they've hit a little bit of a lull. I think it's different for them in basketball. You can find 5 or 6 guys that meet their academic requirements and can go through all that and be really, really good basketball players. I'm not sure you can get 44 to build a 2 deep in football in the SEC that are going to be able to do that. That's certainly some tough sledding for them in football, but basketball, they've been really good. I mean, they've got Pippen, I believe, was the preseason conference player of the year in basketball. And so anytime you got they're going to have one of the best players on the court every night. They're going to have a chance. They went into Arkansas and upset them. And I think they got beat by South Carolina yesterday, but they're going to have a chance basketball wise.
Can you just do me a favor on Wednesday? The Gator is so big on Florida's court. I need to know tell me how it actually is in person. Because
it's huge. It stretches almost 3-point line to 3-point line. It's great.
That's what I'm
saying. The only logo I think that's longer is the hog at Arkansas.
That's
the hog. The hog. If you go like from the pigsty to the tail, like the hog is maybe the longest logo in college athletics on a half court, but the Gator's definitely not far behind.
It's ginormous. It takes up the entire fucking thing. And I'm like, I get distracted when I'm watching the games.
Playing on the road, we touched on this a little bit earlier in our show as well. It seemed like yesterday, just from the naked eye, in all the big games, the home team won the game. Most likely. Duke lost here and there.
I think there were 6 top 25 teams that went on the road yesterday that lost.
Right.
I think that's the stat.
What is it about this sport specifically that just makes it seem like home court is more important than any other sport or has a bigger weight? You see what I'm saying? Why is that?
Yeah, I think the fans are closer. I think the momentum's much harder to start when they get it rolling downhill. The home team does. And, the reality is there's only 5 people on the court as opposed to maybe there's 10 people on the court, but 5 on a team, 11 versus 22. If you've got one difference maker in basketball and they get that momentum going, rolling downhill with the rest of those guys, that's enough to get it done most nights at home. And everybody just about has one difference maker on their team at this level. And so it makes it very, very challenging because I don't think the margins are as great between the talent discrepancy, if that makes sense. I think the talent's a lot closer in high major college basketball between every team. And then the crowd's right on you, the momentum, the shooting. Most teams shoot a lot better at home just because they're used to the rims, they're used to the depth perception. You look at, there's a kid on Auburn's team. We were studying this when we played Auburn, Cambridge. He's a really good player. He shoots 37% at home and 19% on the road.
Jesus.
So there's a huge talent from that's from 3. I'm sorry, but there's a huge talent. I mean, there's a huge discrepancy there. And so, that's a huge, that's the difference. And that's why I wouldn't bet on anybody to win at Auburn Arena this year You know, I mean, that's why I don't know who's going to go in there and beat them unless they have just a totally off night with him and Jabari Smith. And their point guards just kick the ball all over the court, which they're not very prone to do. So, you know, I mean, you know, there's discrepancies like that, which make it really, 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 really challenging to pull things out on the road.
Do you think you could even mimic that in practice? Like, yeah, you could play music and
yeah, we do that. I mean, you know, we
it's not the same though, right?
No, we play the fight songs and do all the chants. We have all that stuff blaring on speakers and try to operate in as much chaos as we can. But you know, I think it's very, very challenging to, you know, to get that atmosphere just like it is and be in the arena. Like I said, the depth perception makes a huge difference. The rims make a huge difference. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And, you know, I think that's why I think the hardest thing to do in anything in college athletics is to win a conference road game in basketball. I think that's the hardest. I think that's the hardest game. I think that's the hardest game to win. I mean, 2 years ago, we went to Vanderbilt, not to go back to Vandy, but we went to Vanderbilt. I think they hadn't won a game in conference in 2 years, and we were 8-0 in the league, and we're coming off like a second place finish. I mean, we got beat. We got beat like 99, 91, 99, 92. I mean, they had a kid, Maxwell Evans, who since transferred. I think he made like 5 threes all year, and he made 5 in the first half. And so, you know, like stuff like that can happen. You get that momentum going downhill, and that was when our defense wasn't worth a damn either. So it was easy to kind of get going on us.
And you got a coach from the baseline there.
You got a coach from, that's the craziest thing. Have you ever been there? The
Yes.
floor's raised. It's called Memorial Gym. It used to be an auditorium. So the floor's raised, the benches are on the baseline. It's a unique setup. It's literally like an old auditorium. They have a first level, they have a second level, they have a third level. Like you're in a theater. It's a really, really cool place. It's awesome.
Incredible. Marty, you got one more?
Yeah, I was just thinking that if my job doesn't work out, you could hire me. I'll come to practice. I'll scream in your kids' ears. I'll get the chance going. Rico harasses people on the internet all the time. We could get you guys going.
I like that. We may have to enlist your services.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, so far I've asked you for a job and a picture of Florida's Gators. So you got a couple little homework for me.
We'll get that done. We'll get the picture done for sure.
All right.
This was kind of raging in the office. I know you're an Earth, Wind, and Fire guy. We were around the office. People were talking about the best wedding songs. Is September the best wedding song of all time?
It's a good one. I'm not going to go best. I don't know if it's the best of all time, but it's a good one. It's my favorite Earth, Wind, and Fire for sure.
It's everybody's. Yeah, my sister at weddings does this big dance. It's like a cult. It's crazy. They do the bus stop, the whole thing. It's nuts. It's a good
I like
song.
it.
Yeah,
I like it. I need some video of that.
Okay. Well, that means you.
Coach, you don't want his number. He'll text you after every win.
As long as you're okay with holiday texts and text after big wins, just let me know now, because that's the door you're
just
open.
let you know, if you go on a little skid, he won't text you. He's only with you in the good times.
That's all right. Hey, that's all right. That's like everybody, man. Everybody likes a winner. Nobody does anything for a loser. So I'm all good with that.
Oh, I am afraid though that you're gonna, you drop one, maybe a controversial call on one of these road games, you say, and you open the phone, it's like fucking Bosco, fuck this guy. Like, so I'm a little worried about that.
Hey, trust me, I've been doing this a while. We win, I'll have over 100 congratulation texts. We lose, my wife, my mom and dad, and a couple really close friends. You'll have under 10 texts when you lose. I can assure you of that. It's a real quick response when you lose.
Hey Rico, just real quick, if you had to choose like right now, just hypothetically, who would win versus Alabama and LSU?
This is the problem. I got a lot of friends in the league.
I just want to know who I would. I'm telling you, I would pick right now. I'd pick LSU. Who would you pick?
Right now, I think the line is a pick 'em.
Oh, look at you! What a chicken shit! You got to pick somebody. Come on,
I think a team with an animal mascot will win.
Get the fuck out of here!
And right now, I mean, if LSU's defense stays the way they are, it looks like it's favored to the Tigers. So
all I gotta say is
I gotta go that way.
Lost Iona and Davidson, so
I'm just saying, yeah, right. It's going to be a tough game, but yeah,
We
Coach,
play them next week.
Yeah,
next
Wednesday.
The following Wednesday, I believe. Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday the 19th.
The way you're playing is definitely,
It's in Tuscaloosa. I'm telling you now, people don't give Alabama and Auburn enough credit. Those environments are so good now. I mean, obviously they're winning at a high level, but those environments in Tuscaloosa and at Auburn are incredible with the students and the way they're turning out. I mean, those environments are as good as there are anywhere in our league. I think Auburn's the best environment in the league. I mean, those guys are turn up, and Coach Pearl's done an unbelievable job. He's a great coach. He may be a better marketer in terms of getting everybody fired up and everybody out there rolling.
I mean, you were firing people up at halftime. I watched that clip like 40 times. It was awesome.
It happens. Well, Coach, we really appreciate the time. LSU, by the time you're listening to this, most likely will be a top 20 team, 14-1, big road game at Florida on Wednesday. We're looking forward to see the picture of the size of the Gator on the floor. And good luck with the rest of the season. We'll be in touch.
We'll do it. Thanks, guys. Boot up.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, that was LSU head coach Will Wade. I mean, every guest we have on the show knows basketball, but it seems like Will Wade, by the way he answered his questions, is at a different level. Does that make sense?
Yeah. He you could tell he's doing his homework. He knows like everything. Like even just like when he was talking about Auburn's like scoring like 37% at home and 19% on the road.
Shooting. Yeah,
it's very interesting to listen to him.
And he's also going to be around for a long time. I mean, whether it's college, whatever, but he's 39 years old, so he's going to be around for a long time.
Did you like Jake that I asked Rico about Alabama?
Yeah, there's a tough spot. And he called you out. He called you chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you chicken shit. You are chicken shit.
It was a chicken shit answer, but
Yeah,
it
was.
What do you want me to do?
And Marty, you got on me for being neutral.
Yeah, that was sad.
I got too many friends. I have an SEC league pass. I'm fucking connected in the SEC like I was in the CUNY in New York. So what do you want me to do? I got friends.
No, LSU. I mean, we talked about earlier in the show about how hard it is to win on the road. He agrees. Like, this is a really tough game at Florida. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to the rest of the show.
All right, let's get to our segments. Love, hate, beating the buzzer. By the way, we didn't talk about earlier in the show the Thursday games quickly because it was 3 days ago. We are having Big Cat on the show on Wednesday because Wisconsin 87, Iowa 78. I have jumped the ship on Wisconsin being bad. I think they're good now because Johnny Davis, I think, is the best player in the country. Rico and Marty, unless I stand corrected, you both are convinced they're still not good, correct?
Yes.
National title.
Rico saying that sarcastically.
I'll just mush you to death. I don't give a fuck.
No, I don't. Early exit tournament. They're going to be such a good fade. It's going to be unbelievable.
You can't say that I didn't do the fucking research. He accounts for 31% of their fucking points.
Listen.
He counts for 31% of their points. He's playing out of his mind.
Yes, he is.
One off night.
Okay.
In the toughest atmosphere in fucking sports for 6 games.
Purdue. Great win.
I wouldn't say that's all neutral sites. In terms of pressure, you mean?
Yes. What fan of a sport are you? Can you sell the tournament?
Playing.
Sell the tournament.
No, of course, but I think there's a lot
Jake's
more
saying the
pressure.
toughest atmosphere in sports is fucking Stool Street.
No, I'm saying a true road game in the Big Ten is a tougher atmosphere than March Madness.
I don't think so, no. I actually
A
don't.
road
March
game.
Madness
That's so
games.
dumb.
A road game
No.
at Brooklyn College.
That's
The toughest atmosphere
I
in
mean,
sports.
it's fucking the
There's a
March
difference between
Madness,
tough
bro.
atmosphere and more pressure. There's 10 times more pressure.
What do
in
you
March
say is the
Madness.
toughest?
He's
Any
like
true
saying
road
on the
game.
On the road. I think the pressure / there is people like. I think March Madness is way
Depends
harder
of
to
the
play.
sport. I think
No, we're talking about the sport that
a
our
road
college, our
playoff.
basketball
No,
thinks
just a road. You think the Magic had pressure last night going to Detroit?
We're
No.
talking about college basketball
Yeah.
right now. What are we talking about?
Okay, I thought you were saying all of sports.
No, he's
No.
saying that there is harder to like. There's more. It's harder to play on the road in the Big Ten than at a neutral site in March Madness.
No, I think any tournament game is difficult.
I think it's way more harder to play in March Madness than at
I don't think
fucking
so.
Wisconsin.
I think playing at Indiana.
It's not by miles though. It's
No, it's not. I'm not saying
March
it's
Madness
wrong.
is half empty arenas because teams don't show up until their fans
But
don't
it's
show up until their
March
teams
Madness.
play.
Though. It's
Well, of course, that's
pressure.
what
I'd rather pressure.
that's what I
than-
just said though.
I know, but I think it's just like I think pressure and because there's still pressure in these on the road games, and the pressure's 10 times more in March Madness.
Right. I said it. This has nothing to do with pressure. It's a more rowdy, tougher environment.
Yeah, I guess. I guess that's right.
Than a neutral site game.
But let's
all
go.
right, I will go that way. That's probably tough. I agree with the fans and tougher. I think a true road game can be tougher depending on the atmosphere and those nights. But I think definitely way more pressure.
Of course, that's not a debate.
I just think that Wisconsin they're a good team, right? I'm not discrediting them. They have proven a lot as of right now. They're 12-2. I mean, I still like Purdue is a great win. Sure, Purdue has shown lately that they are not as dominant as everyone has thought. Rutgers beat them. Rutgers is not a good team.
No, Purdue has its flaws. I want to see how many shots.
And their other best win is what? Iowa?
Houston. Very good
Houston
win.
early?
Doesn't matter early. It's a win.
I mean it does matter. It's early, and Johnny Davis had 30. And the rest of the teams didn't have anything in the
Indiana, good win.
Indiana's also showing that they are very okay.
All right, this is another.
I'm not
thing
even
too.
just
now.
I'm
Listen, this is helping our case, so you can't shit on the guy. Where does Ken Palm have Wisconsin?
Marty doesn't listen to Ken Palm.
Yeah, I don't care where he has them.
31.
That shows it. That's actually exactly, but it's kind of exactly where I think they are.
His thing is more like it is long term or stock wise, like who's the best as well. Whatever.
I think Wisconsin has a chance to obviously be in every game, but I think
you think that Wisconsin's a national championship team.
No.
Okay, so that's what
most percentage of shots for a team in the country. DJ Burns of Winthrop, 38.3. Kid for Liberty, 37. Bryce Hamilton for UNLV, 37. Johnny Davis ranks 10th at 30, tied for 10th with Derek St. Hilaire of New Orleans. Give me that for the credit. 34% of the team shots. Takes 34% of the team shots.
But again, this is what I'm fine with that because
31% score.
I'd rather like Paolo doing that than with Johnny Davis. Johnny Davis is their best player. He should be doing that. I don't have no wrong, obviously, but the obvious thing is he has an off night. They're fucked. But that's their team. That's what they're going off of. But the thing is, he hasn't had an off night. He's been scoring 30 points a fucking game. So as long as he keeps doing that, they'll be in every game. But I don't think he's going to be able to keep doing that because now teams are going to be more keen on him and run defenses against him. And Brad Davidson isn't going to be the one.
Which will limit his shots.
Yeah.
Which knocks down your opportunity to get 30 points a game.
Yeah.
So I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, they obviously are much better than
they
anyone
can have
expected.
a nice season. They're not Final Four material. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying I don't think.
I know
Final
that's
Four.
how I divide teams up, though.
Right.
Maybe it's a gambling type thing. Maybe it's like futures. I always just looked at who do I group as Final Four teams, who do I not? Like who do you throw out? Just because they're a 2 or 3 seed, like do I really think they can make the Final Four? No. That's the way you group it.
So, yeah, Wisconsin, once again, Johnny Davis impresses big time in the Iowa win. And then Thursday, Indiana smoked Ohio State, 67-51. This is back to my point about the home teams. They smoked them. If they're not at home, they're not smoking. I mean, obviously that's a pretty obvious comment, but I'm just saying the weight of the home court goes a long way.
And look at this. The Big Ten doing the same exact thing what they did last year.
Each other up.
Cannibalize
and they're
each
just
other.
going to fucking be shitty in this tournament again.
That's why I was really excited to see Michigan State in a showcase standalone game in front of me as well because you watch them, but
Michigan State's been kind of forgotten about.
That's what I was going at. Obviously,
they had a chance to prove themselves yesterday,
Kansas
but
tight. Kansas, I think, is still a really good team. And then kind of where did they go? I know they were in one of those tournaments, right?
I mean,
Michigan State was battle for Atlantis. They had that great game against Auburn, right? Or was that UConn-Auburn?
No, it was UConn.
Michigan State was in the tournament still.
Who? Yeah. Okay. So, you got to clarify that.
Yeah, they beat Loyola. They beat UConn. They lost to Baylor in the championship by 17.
All right. So then let's make that a clean.
Atlantis.
Yeah, but you say they play Auburn. You're asking if they play Auburn. Just give yourself a cleaner.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Michigan State was in the battle for Atlantis. They made the championship, beat Loyola, Chicago, beat Connecticut, and lost to Baylor by 17 in the championship.
Right. Okay. So good win against UConn, but we haven't, again, another one before Thanksgiving. We haven't really seen them in a major type game. So I was looking, I think Michigan State was forgot about.
Yeah, I mean, they are 4-0, but they're 4 wins in the Big Ten: Minnesota, Penn State, Northwestern, Nebraska.
Right.
So, like,
Tom Izzo was very upset about how Michigan handled the COVID thing.
I think that's a dicey. You got to get tested the night before, right? I don't know.
I
don't wanna get into
hot
that.
though. He was just talking.
I know. I don't want to get into that. I don't really know how that. I don't know.
Your stomach growling?
A little bit,
It's loud.
maybe. I don't know. I get nervous with COVID.
yeah, so let's get to our segments to wrap up. Love, hate, beating the buzzer, box score game. So love, hate. Who wants to start?
I think we just need to talk about Alabama.
It was gonna be in the beating the buzzer.
No, yeah,
Is there its own segment?
I think it needs its own. No, it doesn't in a normal day. But I mean, I really like. I need to preface this. Alabama's your stomach's going nuts.
It's okay.
Alabama is all of our friends. Rico's taking it to another level. That he's just tweeting about fucking elephants and all shit, and he just texts Coach Oates all the time. Their resume is okay. It's pretty bad.
They have good wins, but they also have bad losses.
Lost to Iona.
4 unranked losses.
Iona, bad team.
No, Marty.
Iona's looking at a 13.
They
One of the
have a
highest for
chance
the
at an
MAC.
at-large if they can run the table in the MAC.
Iona is looking at, yes.
So
they're
you
very
guys
good.
hear what you're saying?
Yes, we do.
Okay, listen, you fucking twats.
Nope.
You're
You sound
saying
like
you're-
a moron.
No, you sound like
debating
a
on
moron,
mid-majors.
bro. You do too, because no joke. You're talking about a national championship team losing to Iona. You can't say you're going to be a national championship team and say that they're a good team. I know they're a good mid-major. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. They stink. You can't talk about a national championship team being, it's a good loss to Iona. You can't. And I'm not.
No,
that's
it's
not
not
even
a
wrong.
bad loss.
It's not a good loss. Not a good loss, obviously.
That's what I'm saying. That's not saying it's a
But
bad
Iona's
loss.
one of the
It's
best mid-major teams out there.
Yes.
Fine. But if you're talking about a national championship team, they can't be losing to, Davidson
Yes.
and Iona
Yes.
and Missouri.
Yes.
That's just what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that they're not fucking good at mid-major. You have to realize that national championship team and that is completely
I
different.
actually
than
think
saying
their only good loss was Memphis. I agree with you. Should have figured
Memphis
out a way
was
to
just
beat.
it was a bad spot
Right.
they were in.
Home game, 2 lottery picks.
Yes.
You can make your peace with that. But yeah, you probably can't lose to.
You can't lose to
Iona
and Davidson.
and Missouri.
You can't give up 92 to Missouri.
No. The other thing is, Alabama shot pretty well from 3. They just got out rebounded.
They got to figure it the
Mizzou
fuck
was out without Amari Davis, one of their top scorers too.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like,
That's not good.
that's back to my point. The home teams. It's just something.
But
I don't know.
But no one's scared to play at Missouri. I can tell you that. No one's like that's a tough environment.
No. Tuesday's going to be interesting.
Here's Missouri. When Tulane beat Memphis, we squeezed in that they lost to Southern. Missouri lost to UMKC, the Kangaroos.
Jesus Christ.
Tuesday, 9 o'clock is the state championship.
Yeah.
Or the
Auburn,
Roos,
Alabama.
excuse me.
It's a state championship for
For
Alabama.
That's kind of what a state championship is. You
Well,
think they
it's-
play
So
a
you're saying for the team Alabama.
Yeah. Not the state, you fuck.
Okay, here we're gonna have an interesting. Where is Auburn located?
In Alabama.
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't want to fucking. I didn't think you.
He's
knew
saying
I'm
it's a
saying
bigger
it's
deal
not-
for the
it's not
team
big-
Alabama.
It's not a
than
big
it is
deal for Auburn. If
Yeah.
they lose to
it's a
them.
major rivalry.
No, it
It's a
is.
state championship.
You're a fucking idiot. I was not saying it's.
I
for
thought you were
Alabama.
saying like
No, you
we got
moron.
Ohio teams busting into
No.
Michigan to play a fucking state
No, I'm
championship.
saying it was more of a championship game for Alabama because they are so down.
Alabama's way more in need of the win. I'll give you that.
1000%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Auburn
so-
loses, but they're not gonna lose because Auburn's way better.
I think it's gonna be high scoring.
It's gonna
So
be.
you do a mayor's bet on this one?
It's gonna be a good game.
No, I'm not.
You're not
Yeah, 'cause you're
confident.
scared, yeah.
No, don't get me. Listen,
No. You're
Bama has
scared.
the better coach. Bama has the home court advantage. Bama also has been playing so bad that they're going to turn it around, like we saw with Florida, a little bit. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game. But I'm not confident enough to be betting it.
Bama hasn't lost in a true home game yet.
I don't want to be in Tiger
Like
paint
Auburn,
again.
bro. Auburn has like they just beat the shit out of teams. They really do by double digits.
I think that's your smartest take. Was taking Auburn
Oh yeah,
when you did.
Yeah, he reminds us every day about
I
it.
really do.
It's the only thing he was right about so far this
No,
season.
it's not.
What else?
The
WCC? Stinking?
they're not good. Like I don't.
No.
It's crazy that you guys still say that they're good. It's insane. They're okay.
The fact that you're quadrupling down on
they're
this
a
is
good
insane.
mid-major.
Did you watch that BYU fucking game last night?
Yeah, it was gross.
It was awful.
What was the final?
It was
52,
both teams
like
below 50?
40. It was like
52-43.
It was an awful game. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but Texas Tech has played those. So, like,
But Texas Tech
Yeah,
is playing
you
fucking
can't-
real
yeah.
teams.
You just single out one little game. We're like, they
No,
stink,
I'm not.
they stink.
No, I
Your
don't.
mother's here.
No,
yeah.
I don't. Jake, you fucking nerd fuck. You just think that you're right in everything.
No,
and it's
I
like,
admitted
bro,
when I was wrong on Wisconsin.
they're not WCC. What have they done? Seriously, you guys just say bullshit and just say I'm wrong. What the fuck? have they done?
WCC, a 14-3 team. Gonzaga,
Against who, bro?
14-2.
Against who? 14-3 against who?
St. Mary's is a good win. Utah State, not a bad win.
Come on, man.
Utah State's pretty
They're
good.
14-3. Marty, you just think a team
No, I
with
don't, bro.
without a
You're just
brand
like-
name
you
is
just
have to
bad.
No, it's
bend.
not.
You have to bend a little bit because
I'm bending,
Yeah.
but
those
you
West
can't-
Coast teams are not going to
You're
get to play.
stretching. You're stretching that Utah State's a great win. You're stretching it. They're okay win.
Given the case, like those teams don't get an opportunity to
That's
showcase
that's why
themselves.
they're not good because they don't play these teams. How many fucking
Okay.
times do I have to
But
say
by the
it?
same token, Iona went and beat Alabama. So, like, if these WCC teams were given the chance to go play an SEC team, they might beat them or an ACC team.
Then
But
fucking do it.
what the ACC
Gonzaga
team,
does it.
The ACT teams know that they're pesky. They don't put them on the
Gonzaga
schedule.
does it.
It's one team.
No, you're a moron
They
with this.
pay
thing.
No, I'm
Yes,
not,
yes,
bro.
you are.
No, I'm not.
And
San
if-
Francisco's great, huh? They're good.
not
Yeah, they're
win.
14-2.
Yeah, and played nobody.
Not gonna
UAB is a solid win.
Oh,
Davidson is a good win. They beat Alabama.
UAB,
win. UAB is a good team.
they're an okay team.
They lost to Rice though. Not
They're
You go-
13-4.
They're an
they
okay
lost to
team.
Rice.
Like-
They're good.
I mean, they lost to Rice.
It's all
They
scheduling.
beat
It's all
North Texas
availability.
by
That's
4.
why the tournament's great. You get a team you hear out of nowhere plays a great team and they or a Bauer program and they get to beat them. Like Abilene Christian beat the fucking shit out of Texas. Like, what are you gonna do? Ohio fucking waxes Virginia. Like,
Yeah.
I understand. We're talking about the WCC. I'm not talking about these other mid-major teams.
right, babe. Okay, BYU can give people some problems. St. Mary's can give people problems.
I've been watching so much WCC. That's the only reason why I'm still on this take that I don't like. I'm watching these games. They're not good. They're
All right.
okay. They're okay teams.
I think the ACC has a lot of okay teams.
1,000%.
Wait, so now you're saying WCC has okay teams?
They have yeah.
So when
I've
an
all
okay-
said
2 minutes
that.
ago, you were saying they're trash.
How fucking long have you done this podcast with me? When I say they're trash, it's
Yeah,
just
now
like
you-
they're okay.
When an okay team plays an okay
Yes,
team,
it
it's
is,
gonna
bro.
be- all
And you guys are just suck off mid majors for no reason. When it's like, bro, these teams aren't that good. I mean, it's crazy what we're hearing.
I hope Belmont gets a fucking ACC team in the tournament.
Sure.
Whatever.
All right, love-hate time. Who wants to start?
You.
All right. I love what Ty Washington did after 17 points and 17 assists for Kentucky. He tweeted out, "This helped me rack up them assists. It's Ty's secret stuff." Similar to Michael Jordan in Space Jam. So a nice little...
I kind of hate that.
He knew what he was doing.
We've seen that before, but it's cool. I don't know.
I'll go to the same love because it's from the same game, even though people were saying he choked him by the neck as only the internet could do. Wheeler for Kentucky, he was out with the injury, right?
Yeah.
Crean embraced him before the
Yes.
game. Yeah,
Some
that
things.
was nice. But I
Yes.
mean, the man has a neck injury, and the picture
Yeah,
is
I
him
saw
like
that. That was
this.
amazing.
It's a little-
You know what
only Crean could do that.
All right, my hate is what I'm seeing with my alma mater. Syracuse loses to Wake Forest, under 500. Jim Boeheim was hired in 1976 and has never had a losing season. There's plenty of games. They can still go on a big run. They can still make the tournament. Right now, they're not even an NIT team. it sucks. It sucks because it's supposed to be the Boeheim's year with both brothers on the team, and just seems like it's not meant to be. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe this is a little reverse jinx, but they stink right now.
Is he
Lost to
going?
Wake Forest.
Is he going for his first under 500 season?
That's what I just said.
Jesus.
And I'm the moron.
All right, cut that.
No, whoa! Why are we cutting it? We can't. We're not perfect. You didn't listen to him. Don't cut it, Aria. We can leave a little in. You didn't listen to him.
All right.
I hate you.
His under.
My hate is you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate
know you
everyone
hate
on
me.
this podcast.
His under 500 seasons, only under 500 seasons is going to be his final? As he said, this is the last one.
There's no word
Do we
yet,
know what
but
he's doing?
Both of his sons are going to graduate, so.
He's an old bag. What are you gonna do?
All right, who's hate?
Marty hates me. I guess
both-
I hate
yeah,
Marty.
I
Yeah,
hate
Marty.
you guys.
It's the end of the trip. We had a good run.
Rico, who do you hate?
Marty.
You guys are ridiculous. All right, being the buzzer time.
No, you know what? I fucking hate. I can't say I hate him because I want him on the pod. But I hated what Colorado State did yesterday.
That was in being the buzzer, yeah.
That was a big opportunity. I got people amped for the Rams at the bar at Michigan. They go out and lose by 30 and score 49
You
points.
did tell a lot of people to bet Colorado.
They were telling
State.
me, like, we're amped for the Rams. I may or may not have texted a coach on Colorado State, hey, people are amped up for the Rams, and they went and lost by 30.
San Diego State 79, number 20, Colorado State 49. We're now down to 2 undefeated teams in the country. The Rams get blown out, so it's Baylor and USC.
They're another kind of forgot about it team. I watched a lot of that game Thursday night. They're great. Also, Cal's logo is as big as Kansas, if not bigger. Get your eyes on Cal.
Against
It's pretty
UCLA.
close. It's close.
What? No, they played USC. You played USC.
They played UCLA.
They played USC Thursday night.
Oh, they played UCLA
they played-
yesterday.
Yeah.
I watched the game. It was USC.
No, it was
Thursday night.
yesterday.
No,
They played
you're
USC.
both-
I'm
yeah.
talking which game I watched USC.
I'm saying I watched yesterday.
Oh, fine. All right. So we both watched. Yeah, Cal's logo is fucking atrocious. I hate Cal's logo.
UCLA stinks, by the way.
Okay. Let's get to being the buzzer.
I'm not buying UCLA.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Number 16, Providence 83, St. John's 73. A nice bounce back win for Coach Cooley and company. The Be Them Dude shirt was debuted in the layup lines.
Sick.
We're back.
gotta- we
We're
gotta
back
give
to
our
our hot
sizes.
streak. We're 1-0 with guests.
We gotta
now.
give us sizes. I
Yeah.
want that shirt.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, I want that.
Oklahoma State 64, number 14, Texas 51. The Longhorns 11-0 in home and neutral games, 1-3 on the road.
I
Something
don't
to
know
look
what's-
into.
I don't know what's going on with them.
Texas is a really nice car. You open the hood, it's a bunch of spare parts.
I don't hate that.
Number 12.
It's not put
that was
together
like a Colin
well.
Cowherd reference.
Oh, yeah.
Number 12, Houston 76, Wichita State 66. A shorthanded Cougars team take care of one of the top contenders in the AAC.
Yeah, Houston's maybe they got tired of playing. I know guys are injured or whatever, but like the transfer last year, maybe these kids are tired of fucking Sampson being a whack job.
You think so?
I don't know. I mean, they lost guys to injury this year, but either way, I will say this: he figures out a way to win shorthanded every year. They made the Final Four last year without a really, really good player. So
Oklahoma 79, number 11, Iowa State 66. After a 12-0 start, it's 2 out of 3 losses for the Cyclones, who have Kansas, Texas Tech next.
yeah, the shine is coming off the shoes for Iowa State a little bit.
I think there was
Also,
a
I mean,
Fugazi.
don't disrespect the Groves brothers. They're fucking good.
We know.
Yeah. Check
But
out the
I did say
YouTube
Iowa
interview.
State's Fugazi.
Fair.
Number 9, Auburn 85, Florida 73. The Tigers continue to look the part as the top team in the SEC. The state championship on Tuesday.
That's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah.
I just really hope it's a good game. I don't want to see anybody I would love to see those two in a tight environment. I also think what is your opinion change on Alabama even if they lose war last possession loss to Auburn?
I still think Alabama's good.
Okay.
I just think that
I
they're
thought you had
not
completely
playing-
got
No,
it.
I'm not. I think they're a very good team. I think that they're not using like Davidson right, and they're not I feel like there's something that they need to be fixed. I don't know what it is though.
All right.
The basketball version of the Egg Bowl. Ole Miss 82, Mississippi State 72. These are both tournament-worthy teams, I think. Ole Miss is building themselves a nice little resume.
Yeah, I'm out on Ben Howland. I don't think he's.
Yeah, Ole Miss, they did lose to Samford, so that's an awful loss. But wins against Memphis and now Mississippi State, who's 10-4. So both teams are right in the mix there. They can do some spoiling in the SEC. A couple of ACC notes: Florida State 79, Louisville 70. Just as we thought Louisville was making a move in the ACC, they started 4-0. FSU holds serve at home. FSU needs to go on a run too. They had some high
Yeah,
expectations.
these teams are all going to hurt themselves because they're going to all end up like 500 or a little bit above 500 in the ACC, and it's not that. It's really going to come down to who can succeed in the ACC tournament. I know that sounds so cliche, but like who beats who in the quarters, who somehow gets to a final. Like I just see a lot of them. I also still think a lot of these ACC teams are not above losing shit bad games to the bottom of the ACC.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I don't think anyone's untouchable. They're going to lose some bad ones. They'll beat each other, and they're all going to kind of just tread water till the ACC tournament.
And then North Carolina 74, Virginia 58, a blowout from start to finish. Tar Heels 3-1 in ACC play. Armando Bacot, career high 29 points, 21 rebounds.
It's time for Virginia to look in the mirror of maybe, hey, this ain't working.
What? They won the
Just
championship
their whole,
3 years ago.
Yeah, I know. And that's going to fucking always come back at me. But this whole style, I don't know if it's...
It worked.
Like, that championship is almost the worst thing to happen because it validated that it worked. You know?
That's crazy take.
Say this again.
It's tough. Like, how many years are we going to watch them play this gross style before they decide to change it?
Jake? Because now he's trying to change. What was his take?
He's not changing it. He's just saying the style doesn't work. They won it all 3 years ago.
I don't hate what you're saying, but it is tough when they did win.
They did win.
But
Couple of miracles in that tournament. Probably a bad call as well against Auburn.
definitely a bad call.
They won it all.
So they want. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I can't
I got
help you out.
But I meant,
understand what you're saying.
like, style-wise, do you see recruits getting excited to go play to a slow tempo? And we're all about offensive efficiency, not necessarily offensive, like, showcase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Virginia dead last in tempo, 358.
Yeah, I mean, they were. What were they last year? 4?
Crazy.
They were a 4 last year.
Also
yeah, first round
dead
loss.
Dead last.
So in the same time of winning that title, they lost. The only team to lose to a 16, and then lost to a 13. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, lose first round, win it all, lose first round. Roller coaster. And then quickly, this game was put together
I can't be. I wouldn't be
last
excited to
second.
go fucking play. there.
St. Louis 68, Iona 67. Tough loss for the Gales. We debated about their at-large chances earlier. This would have been very good for their at-large chances, but if they were on the table of the MAC, I think they could still get it. St. Louis.
I don't know. I'm just trying to. They lost.
Yeah,
best
a
teams.
MAC
Yeah.
team
No,
on the
they're
road
the
lost
best
to an
teams.
A10 team. Well, let's knock them down for that by losing by 1 point.
They're a good team. I'm to agree with. They're a good team.
St. Louis is 10-4. They have wins over Boise State.
Oh. Wow.
Richmond's right there in the A10.
Richmond.
Fuck Richmond.
They went on a 6-game winning streak earlier. But Marty's just gonna nitpick. If I say the sky is blue, Marty will be like,
No, I'm not.
Did they play anyone?
You're
Did they
just
play
a
anyone?
Fucking, because you fucking have announced these teams. You're like, oh, okay, their mid majors are not that bad.
It's fine.
Some
I think
of
we
them are
just
not.
spend all year trying to find those teams who can make noise in the tournament. You don't
Sure.
really give a fuck.
No,
is what it
I
is.
do, but
No,
I
you
don't.
don't.
All right.
No, I just said I do for like gambling reasons, but I just like what they're not gonna get to the Final Four. What am I even talking about them for?
We're not sick. Yeah, okay. That's the dumbest thing you could say on a college basketball podcast.
When I have two other morons that talk about it all the time, I don't have to think about it. Am I wrong?
No. You win.
It's just frustrating. Just give them a chance.
Why? What have they proven to me to
You
give
got to
them a
bring back
chance?
the bracket busters. That was a great day.
And the 24-hour thing in the
I
preseason.
love that. That was the best.
What?
Yeah.
24 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't watch because it was mid-majors overnight.
I bet on. You're talking to a guy who bets on like Chicago State and all these bullshit teams. Like I watch these games,
Respect, that's all.
and I don't need to give them respect because I watch and they stink.
Well, it's the same debate every episode, so we hope you enjoyed volume 36 of mid-majors versus non-mid-majors. That's our show. Wednesday, Big Cat should be or Thursday, Big Cat should be coming on.
We'll see.
TBD.
All right. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you in a few days.